One day, while I was at the Click Team homepage, I was looking at the featured games section and found a game titled Ghost House. It was the #1 game for this month. The weird thing is, the screenshot beside the title of the game didn't load. I refreshed the page, and it still didn't load. I tried using Google Chrome, I was using Internet Explorer before, and the image still didn't load. I just assumed that they didn't have an image for the game. Upon clicking the download link, it came up with a dialog box, with only a executable file named GhostHouse.exe. It was the only file that needed to be downloaded, so as imagined, I downloaded the game onto my hard drive. As soon as it was done downloading the file, the regular ding sound was replaced with the error noise. I checked the file, but it was there on my desktop, nothing wrong with it. I wanted to play the game, but I had to go babysit for Aunt Becky, which meant that I also had to keep an eye on Jesse and Connor, yay. So I downloaded the file onto a CD and took it with me. A few minutes after getting situated at her house, I went into their bedroom and stuck the CD inside. Connor wanted to know what I was doing, and I told him I was going to play a game. He asked if he could watch me, and I said it was okay. I opened up the CD drive, inserted the CD and double-clicked on the icon. This is where things started to get weird. A few seconds after I had clicked on the icon, the screen started to flicker. Then the game title appeared. There was no introduction, no startup logo, just took me right to the title screen. There were only 3 choices: new game, load game, and options. I checked the options, and there was only 3 settings there: sound, music, and exit. The sliders to adjust the volume didn't work at all, so I could only exit. The load function didn't seem to work at all. At last, there was the only option left: new game. I pressed space, and it threw me right into the game, with no story at all. The gameplay was just a first-person shooter where you had to shoot down all the ghosts and escape alive. There was a ghost counter and a life bar. As for the graphics, they are black and white, but 3D. It was actual 3D, not Wolfenstein 3D. It was the graphics you would see on a PlayStation game. There really wasn't much else to say, except for this one room. It was packed with ghosts, probably like 8 to 10 ghosts in it. I was getting the crap beat out of me, my life bar going down by 1 bar every second. Soon, I was dead. It read, "Game over," in a bloody, illegible font. Then the computer gave me a blue screen. There was no white text on it, just a light, blue glowing screen. I got disgusted and decided to turn the computer off. But before doing so, Connor told me to look at the screen. It was black, and I could hear a low-pitched buzzing sound coming from the computer, but that wasn't possible. They didn't have any speakers. Then, on the screen, we saw a picture of someone's face, but the picture was broken into pieces and scattered all over the screen. The buzzing was now high, which made me and Connor jump back. It did this about 3 times before the end of this video. It showed white text, saying nothing was found. As for the face, it looked a little bit like Jesse's, but it was hard to tell. Me and Connor stared at each other for a few seconds, then went out into the other room, shocked. A few weeks later, I got a call from Aunt Becky's house. When I answered the phone, all I could hear was someone asking for help. It sounded a lot like Connor. I went to their house as fast as possible. They lived a few blocks away from me, so they weren't that far away. As soon as I got there, no one was to be found. Just the TV making a low, buzzing sound like the one I heard from that video. I went into the dining room, and Jesse's face was raw. You could actually see his flesh. On the floor, chunks of his skin from his face were scattered around. Right after seeing that, the computer then made a high-pitched buzzing noise, which almost made me crap my pants. I decided to call the cops. I called 911, and they immediately came over. I was waiting outside, and when they finally arrived, I ran to the officer, telling him what had happened. He ran inside, and found nothing. He gave me a warning not to pull a stunt like that again, or I'd be in big trouble. As they left Becky's house, I wondered, what do you mean by I couldn't find anything? I went inside, and everybody was in the living room except Jesse. I asked where he was, and Becky simply replied, I don't know, I haven't seen him ever since that one night when you came over to watch the kids. It has been a few years since the incident has happened, and it seems as if everybody except me has forgotten about little Jesse. It's a shame, because he was a nice kid, too. Anyway, I have had a chance to search for the game online again, and to my surprise, I have found it. It's not the exact same version I had though, but it comes pretty close to the one mentioned in the story here. Oh, and I understand that some people that have read the story were a little confused as to what happened in the end. Well, read the story again and think about it a little. If a lot of people are still confused as to what happened, I'll write about it here.